Welcome. I'm Tom Bond, president of the Massachusetts Bar Association. I would much rather be speaking to you from the Hall of Flags up on the dais. Afterwards, we could shake hands, rub elbows, share a coffee and a donut. But on the other hand, I saw on the news this morning, there's a traffic jam on Route 128. So if I had to drive into the city today, I'd have been stuck in about 3 hours of traffic. So we have to look at the positives. This too shall pass. We are pleased to continue this Walk to the Hill tradition, now called a Talk to the Hill tradition, in light of the circumstances. We commend the Massachusetts Legal Assistance Corporation and our partners in the Equal Justice Coalition for continuing this important Talk to the Hill tradition. We fully support their funding request for this year. We want to thank Governor Baker and each and every member of the legislature for your continuing support for funding for legal services. I asked Marty Healy, he's our Chief Operating and Legal Officer, yesterday about our past funding requests and what happened to them. And he thought about it and he said, I can't remember any time in recent history that legal services were cut or even level funded. Each year, it's increased. That's a credit to you. Thank you. And thank you on behalf of the Massachusetts Bar Association and every single lawyer in the Commonwealth. These are important matters. Tremendous demand there is for legal aid. Even with the requested funding that we have, 57% of eligible people last year had to be turned away. We have to continue to work together to advocate for access to justice for all, not just for some. Now, we all know that people who can't afford a lawyer for a criminal case, they have a legal right to be provided a lawyer by the Commonwealth, but not civil cases. And these civil cases I'm talking about, they're not just fighting traffic tickets at City Hall. These are serious, complicated legal issues related to housing, healthcare, family law, domestic violence, immigration, education, and other life-altering issues and matters. Our court system, we all know, is difficult to navigate. We can't expect them to go it alone. They need an attorney by their side. Let me give an example, a few examples. Imagine being a non-English speaking single mother with small children, living in an apartment and there's no heat. You call your landlord a few times and you don't get a response. Or losing your job and getting denied unemployment benefits. Or worse, what happens when you've been assaulted by your boyfriend and you just don't know where to turn? These are important, life-altering issues that cry out for legal funding. And these are the cases that Mass Legal Assistance Corporation and the Equal Justice Coalition, they support every day. And yet more than half of them are turned away because they just don't have the proper funding. This has gotten even worse with the COVID pandemic. So fellow members of the legal community, I'd like to speak to you now. We need to be the voice for our fellow citizens who don't have a voice. Civil legal aid is an essential resource for our most vulnerable residents and families. Please, please, please pick up your phone, call your legislator and ask them to support Mass Legal Assistance Corporation's $41 million budget request for fiscal year 2023. Thank you very much.